Welcome to this episode. What we're going to do on this episode is we're going to actually install the Apache. We're going to install the LAMP server, which is going to install Apache 2 and SQL. And then we're going to install the PHP MyAdmin. And then we're going to create a database for our WordPress, which we're going to download and install. Let's get started. And also within this, actually, we're going to also do a info.php function. But this tutorial, what I'm going to do to get started is I'm going to just hit Control-Alt-T. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up a terminal. Right inside the terminal, I'm going to go sudo apt-get. And then I'm going to just do an update. And then it's asking for my password. So in there, up at the top there, where I put the apt-get, if we were to be installing a program, I would have put in there. I would have put install instead of update, and then the program I wanted to do, which we will show you here shortly. So I'm going to clear this. So I'm going to type in clear, so it gets rid of that. All the updates are done. So now I want to install the LAMP server. Now when we first, in our other tutorials, at the end of the install, it came up with a list of things that we could do, software selection, I guess it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall that. So I'm going to type in sudo task SEL for select. And since I've already put my password in once, it probably will not ask me for it. What it's going to do is it's going to fire up this window right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to the LAMP. I'm going to hit my space bar, and then it will add that star there. Hit my tab, and then enter on the OK. Alright, so now what it wants me to do, password. You can hit escape and it will go by without putting a password in, but I like putting passwords in, so I'm just going to go put my password in, enter my password, enter, and away it goes installing. Alright, it's getting close to the install. So what it's doing now is it's just building the SQL. It's creating a www folder in the var folder, and it's creating a Apache directory inside the etc folder. So it's just going to finish off here, and then once it does, it's going to spit us back out in the terminal page. And what we will do from there is I will just show you where the new folders have been created. Alright, so it's 100% done, and now it's kicked us out into here. So now what I can do is I can go cd, let's type in here, I can go cd /var/www, and then I can go list, and now there's an index inside our www var, and I can do the same by clicking on the folder here. And this is the cool part about having the GUI, is I can actually use the folder system instead of just going into the terminal here. So I can go down to my file systems, I can go into var, and I can go into www. And then there's that folder. Now what that is there, if you have your domain that you've registered or whatever pointed at your IP address, what that will do is it will bring you to port 80. We'll get into all that stuff later on. But now that I've opened up this, I'm going to go local host, and there, it works. So that's telling me right there that it works. So the next step, since we've got this opened up, what I want to do is I want to go to WordPress.org. And once you're in WordPress.org, what I wanted you to do is we're going to go down to the downloads. 3.4.2 is the latest version. And then we're going to download the tar file underneath the big blue, and that's for people with Windows. Us cool people with Linux, we're going to download the tar here. And then I'm just going to save it. So it's going to be saved into your download folders or whatever. If you've gotten creative and you know a little bit more than you should, you would have created a new folder and then set up your downloads to go into a different folder. But default to go into downloads, we can just right click on it, open containing folder. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on again, and then I'm just going to move it to my desktop. So boom, it's gone to my desktop. So now I'm going to close all these windows. We're going to keep that just running in the background. Alright. Okay, so now that I'm just going to type CD, which will bring us out of all these directories. I'm going to clear it again, so we got a clean workspace. Just going to minimize this for a second. So there's our folder, our WordPress. So we're going to leave that there for now. What we need to do now is we need to go and get our phpMyAdmin. So to do so, we're going to do a sudo apt-get, and I'm going to do another update. And sometimes when you install certain software, if you do an update, it's just going to give you access to other suppositories for downloading stuff. So it's a good practice to do. Let's clear it again. Okay, so I'm going to go sudo, and then I'm going to go apt-get again. And then this time I'm going to go install. And then I'm going to go phpMyAdmin. Now, I'm pretty sure if we would have gone to the Software Center, we could have got it to, we could have gone and done a wget from the web page and download. There's many different ways, but I know that we can get this from just doing this. So everything above the yes and or the y and the n, of course, is everything that's going to be installed, and we're just going to keep going. So what this is going to do, we could have just done it through MySQL. I like to have phpMyAdmin running. It just, to me, is a nicer interface. So this has popped up, this window here. I'm just going to hit my spacebar and then my tab. We're not going to worry about the light HTTPD, and then we're just going to hit OK, and away we go. And actually, after this, we're going to actually be doing a tutorial here soon on the new release of the 12.10 that's been released. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm actually installing it on another machine right now as we speak. Alright, so as soon as this is done, we're going to go in and we're going to actually create a function after this. Alright, so now we're going to set up the my phpAdmin here. Okay, so now it wants our password. And then our SQL password. Ooh, let's just do this over again here. If you ever think you've done it incorrectly, it's smart to just erase it and start over again. And then it wants us to confirm it. And away it goes. Alright, so it's all complete. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to restart Apache now that this has happened. So I'm going to go sudo. Ooh, we're all over the place here. I'm going to go sudo. And then I'm going to go /etc/init.d/Apache 2 And we're going to restart. Apache 2, waiting. Boom, and so it started good. So we're going to clear it. And now what I want to do is we're going to create a PHP info function. And then this is going to just help the world go around a whole lot better. So let's just get ready to do this. Alright, so first what we want to do is we're going to go into a bigger function than sudo. It's called the gk sudo. And we're going to go into gedit. And gedit, we're going to create a file in a folder called, so we're going to go into var /www/info.php. Alright, so what this is going to do is it's going to open up a text editor. It's going to create a file within the var here, within this folder here, within www. It's going to create this. Alright, so now we've got a blank page. I'm just going to exit this one here. So here we go. So what I want to do is I want to do the less than question mark PHP, and then I'm going to go question mark greater than. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these two here. And I'm going to go PHP info, then my function, and then my hashtag. There we go. So now we're going to save this. So what this is done, we can close this now. What this is done, if I go cd /var /www and I do a list, there's now an info in there. So what we got to do is we're going to go to cd, bring us back out, and we're just going to restart our Apache again before we go and do it, make sure that's running properly. So here we go. So if I go sudo and I go let's go /etc /init.d /Apache 2 restart. Now you can restart the whole machine, but why? And if you had a bunch of users on your server, would you really want to restart it? No. Some people would get pretty upset in some of the companies I've worked for if I restarted it. Alright, so now that that's all done, let's just go to our internet browser here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go localhost. Okay, oh. Haha. That didn't work out the way I wanted to. Localhost. Yeah, get out of here. Okay. So it works. So now I'm going to go localhost /info.php. And then we're going to hit enter now. Boom. So here we go. So our function is working. And we're ready to now install our